Teaming is a pillar of the middle school philosophy, and it really takes a large school and turns it into however many teams you have, that's how many small schools you have. Here we have 15.
Team teaching is really a group of teachers working together to plan, to evaluate, and just to build that relationship with a set of kids. So it's kind of like our own little home here of 100, 106 students maybe on our team.
The focus is on building relationships with the kids. Instead of having to know a whole grade level of 500 plus, they can really focus on building the relationship with the 110, 120 kids that they have. Because middle school kids aren't mini high schoolers. They have very different needs, and the team really seeks to meet those needs as best we can.
Middle school is a very unique age group, which is why I've spent my whole career here in middle school. I love it. They are young and sometimes immature, but yet they're wanting to be those independent young adults. And it's these unique 3 years that we really can kind of grab on and help try to guide them to be the best version of them that they can be. And in this team environment, because you know the kids so well, you can actually kind of be a little bit more influential with that, a little more guiding with that than if you only see them for one period a day and then maybe passing in the halls. You can build those relationships by having those conversations as they change classes right here in our pod. And so it's a huge benefit to the kids at this age.
Teaming helps to carry out our strategic plan. Focusing teaching and learning, it's always going to be more effective learning if connections can take place. So we encourage our teachers whenever possible to connect the contents to each pod has a wall that opens, so they could literally combine a social studies and a language arts class and do some sort of project together where there aren't physical barriers between the classes or between the content areas. So we encourage that. If the teachers have that team planning every day, they can certainly plan to do interdisciplinary units like that, where the lines are sort of blurred between them. And they can see their science teacher can actually have them do a piece of writing with the support of the language arts teacher. And the language arts teacher might have them research something scientific with the support of the science teacher. So they can really come together and make those connections, which in order for new learning to take place, that's key. You have to build on that prior knowledge. And so the kids are able to see real life connections between the content areas so much more effectively with teaming.
They're learning so much more than just math and science and social studies and language arts. They're enjoying being here. And I think that's one of the biggest things. If you can hook a kid into wanting to be here, then the learning is going to fall into place.
Each child in the building is assigned to a team of 5 teachers. There's there's language arts, math, social studies, science, and then an intervention specialist. So those 110, 120 kids see those same teachers all throughout the day. And they're all located within the pod. They never have to leave home, except to go to Encore, which is health, music, PE, art.
The connections that we're able to make, because we do have the students pretty much all day, is phenomenal. We know the kids. And what that does for a teacher is we're able to know when they're struggling and when we need to intervene, versus when we see them struggling, we're like, okay, this is a positive, that you have to struggle. So we know the kids really, really well, and that in itself is tremendous.
So many of the students were like, no, I love team. I love my team. And I said, well, what is it that you like about it? And a lot of them said, which is huge for teams, is smaller class sizes, more one-on-one time, teacher and student. And they said there's just a sense of community and home, and they just know when they walk in the pod, we're all here, and it's kind of home base for them.
The ability, again, to connect with other students, either teacher-led connections or on their own, has been amazing to see, even especially during this time. And I think a lot of it stems from them just having that desire to want to have that connection, to want to be around more people. And that has been tremendous in the way we've been able to adapt our situation.
Well, I think kids are positive about it. I think they like having that smaller knit group of teachers. I think they like, it's a comfort thing. Specifically when we moved into this building, it was, again, that family, okay, I gotta find my family, and my family will navigate me through the building and help me know where I'm going.
The team is this safety net that doesn't allow kids to fall through the cracks, because there's so many adults that have eyes on a smaller number of kids.
You know, we work closely, the 4 teachers, 5 including myself, work together to plan, you know, talk about students as far as who's giving what homework, so we don't kind of overload the students with homework. With tests too, the same thing with assessments. We want to make sure we're not giving assessments on the same day, again, overloading the kids. So
teaming provides us as educators the ability to really focus on what is best for not just a group of kids, but each of our kids, and really kind of hone in on their strengths, their weaknesses, and where we can meet them where we're at to push them, you know, beyond. And so even like with the social emotional piece, we can pair up kids, maybe 2 kids who are really strong in a subject or in a content or a lesson or a topic. We can have 2 kids who maybe are strong but maybe aren't very outgoing, work together. So they're both confident in the material, but then they can maybe get over that social hurdle. Or with the impact of social media and technology on these kids' lives, and how the video games, the phones, those can almost, not automatically, but it can almost kind of catapult a kid into self-isolating without them even realizing it, because they're so swallowed in their virtual world. Where on a team, you can kind of come out of that shell and not be as self-isolated and build those relationships, because those are real world skills you need as an adult. You have to be able to communicate. You have to be able to work with other people. And when you're playing your video games, yeah, you can be working with other people, but you're not side by side in person communicating. Those are big people skills you need. And so this allows those kids to build that comfort to be able to open up and start communicating in a real world situation. Everything about the way I've been able to develop my lessons, deliver my lessons, reflect on my lessons has benefited from teaming, in the sense that if I had like a lesson, I'm like, I don't understand what went on with this, I can go run and talk to one of my other 8th grade counterparts, because we have that same content planning time. And on Tuesdays we meet for our teacher-based teams, our TBT teams, to talk about how are we teaching, how are we assessing, how are we reflecting and improving. And so that teaming provides that flexibility in that schedule to allow us to have that time. And then we also have our team time, where we sit and we discuss our student successes, our student concerns, so that way we're making sure not one of our kids is ever lost to the wayside. Like, each kid knows they have a place on our team and knows that they are known, they are cared about, and whatever they may need, social, emotional, or educationally, we're aware of it. So I think it's just an all-around benefit to us.